Cancer is one of the most feared words in any language. Few people need to be reminded of the virtual life of its own the disease has taken on in recent years, despite trillions of research dollars and decades of investigative study. Unless you've been through it, it's hard to imagine the horror of the dreaded diagnosis, the pain and emotional strain of the surgery, chemotherapy and radiation that follow, and the numbness brought on by the all too common, "Sorry, there's nothing more we can do." The mere thought is enough to strike the fear of God into all of us. Welcome. My name is Finbar Dunphy, and for the last 3 years I have worked with an institute that offers a totally new and highly successful approach to the whole problem of cancer. Our science is called biological terrain management, and it's a combination of cell optimization and biophysics. Now that probably doesn't mean much to many people, so let me explain very briefly. Essentially what happens is this. Your cell values are manipulated to where your biological terrain, your body if you like, becomes a very difficult place for the cancer to survive in. Kind of like potatoes trying to grow in gravel instead of in good rich soil. So it addresses the underlying reason for the presence of the cancer, and so stops further growth. It's the only sensible approach to the problem, the only one that guards against the possibility of a later return, metastasis, and the development of new primary sites in the body. And it's the science that has changed the lives of the people you are about to meet.
When I was diagnosed with the breast cancer, I went ahead and had the lumpectomy. And when I went back to the doctor and he told me he wanted to do aggressive chemo, he said that if he would have known that I was not going to go forward, he would have done a full mastectomy.
I was diagnosed in 1999 with a squamous cell carcinoma, a malignant tumor in my jaw. And first donor bone did not take. I had to reconstruct the second time. And within 3 months, I had another live tumor located this time in a basically inoperable position at the base of my brain and behind my eye and my ear, which big decisions had to be made as to whether we tried the surgery and gave up the quality of life we had always enjoyed.
It was August 2001, wasn't it, a year and a half ago, and I was diagnosed with ductal carcinoma in situ. They call it DCIS. It's an early stage of breast cancer, fortunately. And because it was scattered and it wasn't really in one lump, the doctor recommended a mastectomy.
I got very sick at home. I'd been sick for quite a while. And in the last 6 weeks, I just got so sick I couldn't go. I couldn't hardly go from my bed to the restroom.
I went to my family doctor and he advised me to go to the specialist. And it ended up that I have cancer of the liver.
I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer June 21st, 2002. I was told that chemotherapy would be the route that I would need to take. After about 6 months of treatment, I was informed that the chemotherapy was not working. And the doctor basically told my father to go ahead and get my affairs in order, that this was basically the end for me.
We did do some additional chemotherapy, and my surgeon said, frankly, it has never been proven to cure anything, but I did it because, you know, we were looking at death.
They tell you they want to save your life and they want to give you the best chance possible to live. And you know you want your best chance and you're reaching out for anything to hold on to life.
There is no chemo for what I have. There is no pill for what I have. And I felt so violated. I felt that this was such a criminal act, that I'd been given these poisonous drugs for 6 months.
The decision to go a whole different path was probably one of the hardest things I had to do.
When I went back to the doctor, he told me it would only be 3 to 6 months that I would live, and that I could do anything I wanted to do or find anybody I wanted to. And so I did. I found the Wellness Center.
A young lady was put in my life that informed me about the Wellness Center. And when I called the Wellness Center, Bob was the only person in 6 months that had given me any hope. I immediately started treatment in December with the Wellness Center. And after my first treatment, I got up the next morning and I felt like myself. I felt normal. It's strange, I felt as if I didn't have cancer.
Shortly after that, I learned about the Institute. So we decided, my husband's been very supportive all along the way, and we decided that I would go for this.
And by the good chances, I heard about the Wellness Center and made a phone call, made a trip, made a decision to enter the program that Bob offers his clients. And we followed it as best we could. And within 6 weeks, I was watching my tumor go down. It had gotten to be, half the size of a ping pong ball. And within 6 weeks, you could hardly see it. So we knew that tumor was being eliminated or detoxified or whatever you might want to term it.
I didn't want chemotherapy. I said, I've seen too many people die from it, so I don't want it. And I told my wife I'd just take my chances otherwise.
And within 12 weeks, I had CAT scans again through my oncologist, and the radiologist who read the CAT scans and x-rays that they took found no tumors, no malignancy. It was gone.
So I decided to give it a try, and we come up and we talked to them at the institution, and they told me they had good news for me, that they could take care of my leukemia.
So I continued with the program. The growth stopped. I started feeling better. I started looking better, getting a lot of compliments. I decided at that point, when I started with the Wellness Center, that I would receive no more chemo.
And I know the medical profession feels I've lost my mind, and they're amazed every time I go back. They keep feeling it's coming back. My oncologist told me it would be back because I had an invasive ductal carcinoma, and that it would come back probably as lymphoma.